Hi everyone, today I want to start another picture by Teresa Goodrich, but I won't be coloring in a book. I will be coloring a freebie picture from Country Farm and I have printed it on toned paper. This time I selected color which I can describe as probably cacao or cappuccino, so it's relatively dark. It's even darker than traditional craft color. As usual, I use paper by German brand, which is quite cheap here in Ukraine. It's not so thick, but it has a variety of nice colors. It's easy to print on it, and it has a relatively nice surface for all pencil brands. I prefer to color with Prismacolors so far, and as I have already did a lot of pictures, probably around 10, on various colors of this paper, I wanted to share a couple of moments where we have advantages and also some challenging points on coloring on toned paper. For me, quite often toned paper helps to create atmosphere on the picture, and very often I select color of the paper according to the subject and to the mood of the paper. For example, to print underwater sea scenes, I would select turquoise or blue colors. For Halloween, I have already prepared a lot of brown, orange, and even red paper, and I will be printing witches and Halloween scenes on this relatively bright paper with intense colors. For winter scenes, I have already prepared pale gray and pale blue colors, and in such a way, I would say that on the toned paper, some pictures would look much more inspiring. For example, I wouldn't say that on the white paper I would select this page to color at all, and on the brown paper it looks more interesting. And besides having already printed it on the toned paper also helps regarding color of the background. Sometimes when you have printed your picture with huge empty background on the toned paper, it doesn't require to cover background in such a way. Paper does this for you. There are pictures which I wouldn't want to see on the white background, so I would need to cover it inside in some way, but on the toned paper it looks nice and we can color only the main image, so colorful paper, colorful background would be created without any efforts from your part. Next advantage is that on the paper, especially on the dark toned paper, some pastel and light colors look absolutely amazing. When I select picture which I want to print, I always try to select picture where I plan to use a lot of pastel colors like cream, eggshell, gray-green light, lilac, great lavender or white, deco yellow, deco pink, so everything which has a little bit of a white pigment into it, and all these pastel light colors, they look amazing on the dark background. On the white background they are quite often almost invisible. But in the same part, here starts some challenges. For example, if you color on the dark background, some colors, especially colors which are quite close to the background color, can be almost invisible or behave in slightly different way. For example, here when I started to color my lightest color of the wood on the roof with quite traditional for me peach beige color, surprisingly it looks a little bit greenish, so I definitely needed more a warmer color as a basic color for the light wood. and I never have noticed this greenish tint into the peach beige color before when I used it on white paper. Some brown colors are almost invisible when I work on craft tan or brown color. Sometimes my yellow color lose their brightness. So good thing is if you're not as lazy as I am, it's to do swatches of colors which you plan to use on the paper you plan to use for your printing for coloring. But as I am lazy, sometimes you will see in my coloring that I start to use some pencil which I know looks good on a white, and surprisingly on dark brown it doesn't look as good as I planned, so I had to switch to other colors during this color along. It's like I thought that I knew my set of Prismacolors, all their pencils, all shades, all hues, and now I need to learn all pencils from the beginning, all color combos. So sometimes it's like a new vision of your pencil set. I personally prefer to work on this paper using Prismacolors, especially on dark colors. First of all, because as I said, light and pastel Prismacolor pencils, they behave especially well on the toned paper, and also as Prismacolors are more opaque and creamy comparing to oil-based pencils like polychromoses. They are easier cover dark background from the first layer. With transparent pencils like polychromoses, sometimes paper, and especially such a dark paper as I use here, it's visible through the pigment of the pencil, so sometimes it's more difficult to cover and you need at least two layers. But it's not so clear because this paper has um, tooth, which sometimes reminds me about tooth of the paper on the paper for pastels. So on the small details, sometimes it's difficult to color them. When I start to use Prismacolors, sometimes I can lose lines of the printed image, or sometimes it's simply quite difficult to color small details with such toothy paper, and in such cases polychromoses are easier to use. So you as usual, you need to test your paper and to select which pencils are easier to use. I basically prefer to use mix Prismacolors for the big areas, for the background, and then when I will need to work on details, here on the hen, on the rooster, probably I will be using also some polychromoses for details. And also as paper is quite toothy, so my Prismacolors in couple of seconds they start to lose their nice thin tip, and the tip becomes blunt, so not so easy to color, and I constantly need to sharpen them. I almost always use my blender burnisher on the toned paper, as I said, when I need to mask all the spots of the paper visible through the pencil pigment. Either I need to apply second layer of pigment, either I use my blender burnisher. I use Derwent burnisher. So when I want to save my pencils, of course I prefer to use my burnisher to mix colors, to create color gradients, and to cover paper. So honestly, I have enjoyed coloring this page. It's quite simple, but I think that I was attracted to those hens and rooster. I want to color them. It was a little bit difficult to color texture of the wood. As I said, with Prismacolors on this paper, it was difficult to draw thin lines to imitate texture, but I was quite happy how I selected colors for the sky, they match nicely and they create nice, interesting color contrast for the background color. And when I have colored on this dark background, I was constantly afraid that the final result, that the final picture will look a little bit dark because of the dark background which I have selected. But I hope that after I will add white chickens and some bright colors on the leaves, maybe on the grass, the whole composition will look interesting and I will manage to create interesting contrast between relatively dark background and bright white chickens and rooster. Anyway, for me it's nice experience when I color on the toned paper. It's like I learn my pencils again and I have constantly think about how this pigment will be combined with color of the background, so it's totally new experience. But after some time, after you get used to think about how colors will behave on the new color of the background, it really helps to get new, it gives you like new inspiration, like something new to learn, something new to try. And some pictures they definitely look 10 times more interesting printed on the colorful background. And I always enjoy process of selecting which color I want to use today for pictures and to find interesting freebie pictures.